All right, welcome back, everybody, to a continuation of our playthrough of No Man's Sky. This is continuation on normal setting, and if you recall from our last episode, we had just repaired our ship and were told to take off and explore, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and all systems functional. Use the right trigger to take off. Right, airborne. Alright, we're gonna seek answers amongst the stars. So if you hold your right trigger in, if you're using a controller like I am, it will accelerate you. And I see space. Okay. So we have discovered the system in the Euclid galaxy. Alright, orbital flight achieved. Test Starship systems. Step 0 of 3, test flight controls and thrust. Right trigger. Okay, so we did that. Orbital flight achieved. Test boost with B in our case. Okay. And we're going to test the pulse engines. Alright. Alright, incoming transmission source. Okay. Please identify yourself. We're gonna identify ourselves. You're not alone. Follow the broadcast ends as strangely as it began. The final piece of the signal appears to be a set of planetary coordinates. So we're going to go ahead and input the coordinate data. Alright, navigational data received. Follow the coordinates and find the signal source. Pilot toward the coordinate marker and engage pulse drive. Pulse drive will autopilot to coordinate markers. Alright, so you can see at the top of the screen there, we've got our red indicators that we've been seeing throughout the game. So we're going to line up our reticle here. And then we're going to press the buttons for the pulse drive and get going. And you can see it kind of auto centers. Now we're being prompted if we press the left stick, we can do a scan. This is kind of handy. It's nice to know what's on the planets that we're going to. We've got frost crystal, copper, doxite, magnetized ferrite. It's another frozen planet, so it's not super different than the one we came from. Right. We're getting there. There are upgrades you can do to your pulse engine to make it work a little bit faster, so you don't have to wait quite so long between planets. Alright, we should be hitting the atmosphere here pretty soon. Here we go, and then you can see when you hit the atmosphere, the pulse engine becomes unavailable. It doesn't work when you're too close to a planet. So I am going to use my boost function. A little bit of cloud cover here. Let's get oriented correctly. Alright, I'm going to slow myself down a little bit. Okay, and as it says below, we're going to actuate the proper button here, which in my case is X to land. Oh, this frozen planet's a little bit nicer. It's got trees, which makes it a little easier to find carbon. Alright. So, discovered a new planet. We come over here and interact with our broken technology. Sparking wires of the machine generate a signal. Tapping out, it's broadcast into the void. Whoever left the message is long gone. Let's decipher. We are decoding. 16, 16, 16. No fuel in failed to reach station. Hazard protection low. No choice but to underground deployed base computer. As well as the log entry, the signal contains plans for a base computer and a terrain manipulator. Oh, I'll be happy to have my terrain manipulator. With any luck, the base computer will hold more information about whoever is leaving these messages. So let's extract those plans. Alrighty, so we're going to need chromatic metal for that. And carbon nanotubes for our terrain manipulator. That's going to allow us to dig underground and actually extract some minerals and stuff that we wouldn't otherwise be able to get access to with our standard tool on our multi-tool. So let's... Oh, we have sentinels here. Oh, that's going to make life a little more complicated. So for those of you that don't know, sentinels, they're kind of the cops of the No Man's Sky universe. And they're not particularly fond of you harvesting things and collecting minerals and all that fun stuff. Usually you can look through loot crates. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. I do not remember it saying that there was high sentinel activity here. When we scanned the planet, that's another thing you want to look for. In some places you will also get an indicator, so it'll not only say, it'll not just say that they are active, but you'll start getting aggressive. And that's really bad, because if they're aggressive, as soon as they see you, they'll go after you. Okay, so let's test and see how sensitive he is. These albumin pearls are actually worth quite a bit, so just like in our previous gameplay, we want to try and collect resources as we go along. And this is a great one to have. He does not seem to be coming after me though, so that's a positive sign. Sometimes I just kind of look and see what you're doing. Gotta get the right angle here. It's always a little bit of a challenge in No Man's Sky. Now, the one trick about collecting these things early game is, of course, your inventory slots. So let's take a quick look here at our exosuit. So we got this microprocessor. That's a handy thing to have. And we got these pearls, which we can sell. You can see just a stack of 5 is worth about 45,000. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do, I think I mentioned in the previous video about the different types of slots. So you always want to move your technology stuff into here if you have room, and then you have cargo slots. The thing about cargo slots is anything that has one of these counters, so like a max of 5 here, you can actually store twice as much in there. So if I wanted to, I could actually transfer these to that slot. I'm not going to do it just yet though. Okay, oh, and I realized couple more things here. Geodes and crystal fragments, sometimes you'll get these from using your mining beam to collect any number of things like ferrite dust and cobalt and etc. So I'm going to go ahead and crack these open. See, that gave me more ferrite dust, and then the crystal fragment gave me more dihydrogen. That actually lets me kind of organize a little bit. I'm going to throw these up here. All right. Okay. So, looking in the bottom right corner, it says select terrain manipulation mission in the log. Mine copper to build the base computer. Mining copper requires a terrain manipulator. So let's go into our missions, which are under logs. And you can see right now it's on Awakenings. That's your default mission, which also happens to have establish a base, build a terrain manipulator. So we're going to select this, and it tells us the terrain manipulator requires dihydrogen jelly and carbon nanotubes. So let's get out of that. Yep, and that's going to tell us the same thing. Mining of valuable ores reshapes the world. That's kind of the stuff that we already talked about. Okay, so we're going to go back to our inventory. Going to install. And we need carbon nanotubes. Let's go ahead and take care of that first. Did I need 2 of them? I need 2. Switch back to the multi-tool. Now, I could have gone ahead and installed that. Even if you don't have all the resources, you can go ahead and put that in there. It's just it'll blink blue like that. So if we go in here, we're going to add our carbon nanotubes and our dihydrogen jelly. Alrighty. Nice. Yeah, he's not going to like us using the terrain manipulator, so we're going to have to be careful. But if we can get a little ways away from him, thankfully the sentinels aren't everywhere. Alright, let's get that thermal protection recharged. Let's go ahead and recharge our life support as well. Although I did pick up some of these frozen tubers. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. That will actually recharge your life support just a little bit. Let's see, launch fuel. Let's move that over there. It helps. Where do we pick up silver? I don't remember picking up silver. Helps to try to keep organized. Alright. So let's recharge that life support. Okay. So now we need to gather copper. We're going to activate our terrain manipulator, and we're going to use it to locate, or not our terrain manipulator, our analysis visor to locate deposits. Now, deposits, they have a special icon. That one right there. So that's magnetized ferrite. That's not what we're looking for. Doxite. There's one of those. Let's see. Doxite. Veritech. Copper deposit. Okay, is that the closest one? You always want to check. Oh, let's go ahead and scan some of these critters while we're here. Okay, we got that one. Looks like we got some noxious plants over that way. Let's see. I am not. What's that? That is a copper deposit, and it is actually a little bit closer. Buried tech. So there might be some more humming sacks down there. That is also not too far away. That one's kind of up the hill. I think I'm going to go for this one. That is one thing you want to think about as you're traveling around. Going uphill takes a little more energy and effort. Oh, fell down a hole. Watch out for that. Okay. And you notice I marked it with X. Still kind of hilly over here, but not too bad. Still gonna keep my eye out for resources. Wow, check out that critter. He's kind of cool. Right. Getting close. Oh, there's some more sodium. I want to pick that up. Looks like we ran across a poisonous plant back there. Your initial booster pack is really not very... Was that more humming sacks? Somewhere. Somewhere nearby. Might come back and check those out. Like I said, it helps to get some money in the beginning here. Alrighty. I think I see our copper deposit. I think it's right here. There it is. Perfect. Okay. So when you're mining resources, one of the things you want to keep in mind is the size of your mining beam. So see how big of a chunk it took out? So I want to make sure I've got the smallest size possible. So I'm actually going to switch. So within your mining beam, you've got different options, and you see here I can change the size. So I'm going to get down to the smallest one, and then I'm going to switch back to mine. Okay. Is that our smallest one? Yep. Okay. And I really want as much copper as I can get, because this is definitely a resource you're gonna want to have on hand early game. Now, because I set my mining beam too small, it's going to take me a little bit longer to collect the copper, but it will collect more. If you leave it on the bigger setting, you're going to get through this patch of copper a lot faster, but you won't end up with as much copper in the end. It's cold out there. Thermal protection falling already. Alright, let's take a break and get that recharged. Okay, your terrain manipulator will eventually run out of energy. Make sure you recharge it with silica powder first. Basically, that's rock dust, which you're collecting while you use it. If you need to recharge it with pyrite dust, of course you can, but you'll have to collect that. This is a really big deposit. What are we at so far? 586. Wow, nice. Wow, that is a big, 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 big pile of copper. I'm gonna take a walk around the other side here because I think I may have missed a little bit. Yep, a little bit. Wow, I'm really excited to see how much copper we get out of this. This may be the biggest pile of copper I've ever found. I think that might be it. All right. Oh, there's a little bit right there. All right. Let's take a look. What did we get? Wow. Wow. 1,682 copper. I will not need copper for a while. That is great. That is absolutely awesome. Okay. So, we have gotten all the copper we need to get. Gonna identify a couple of plants here as I work my way back to my ship. Let's see, where is our ship? Oh, over that way. All right. Switch back to our mining beam. I don't think we can get that one yet. We need these bigger condensed carbon crystals we can't get until we get the upgraded mining beam. Not seeing a whole lot of oxygen on this planet, so I'm going to go ahead and grab some more frozen tubers. These will restore my health, which is normally my life support system, which is normally refreshed by oxygen. Watch out for that guy. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. We have probably walked a large distance again. Yep. Oh, there's some more sodium. I'm going to keep picking that up. Now you'll notice there's all those humming sacks. Sometimes this will happen. Things will kind of reset. I'll show you if we go back over here. There probably aren't any pearls inside of these anymore. Yeah, see, they're empty. Alright. Okay, let's get recharged. Oh, before we do that, if I haven't shown you this already, a free way to recharge is to get back in your ship. So I'm just going to do that for a minute while I look at my instructions, which just disappeared. Give this a second to get warmed back up. Perfect. This also saves my progress. Alright, so now we need to process that copper into chromatic metal. And if you remember from our previous episode, we need to pull out our portable refiner. Oh, a little too close to the starship. Alright, so we need 30 chromatic metal. I'm going to go ahead and process a little bit more than that, but I'm not going to do my entire copper stack. That seems kind of crazy. So when you select something, in my case, you'll see at the bottom, you can change the size by going up and down on the pad, or I can use X to split. So I'm just going to split this a couple of times. And you'll notice here it says 2 to 1. So I'm only going to get 1 for every 2. Looks like we need to refuel. Throw some condensed carbon in. Alright, while that is doing that, as I usually suggest, I'm going to go take a little look around. Caves often have interesting items in them, so I'm going to take a quick peek over here. Frost crystals, those can be useful. Let's see what else we got. Anything else? I don't see a whole lot of interesting things. It's kind of a little bit boring for a cave. We do have these cobalt structures. Usually if you see a structure like this in a cave, it's going to be cobalt. Cobalt's quite useful, so we'll go ahead and harvest a little bit of that. It's also worth quite a bit. Don't want any cave marrow. Got some anyway. Okay, let's go check. Our progress here. You notice it's got a green beam on it, so that tells me that it's done processing. So I'm going to take my chromatic metal, transfer that, and I'm going to go ahead and pick up my portable refiner. Alright, so now if we look at our instructions here, our next step is to build the base computer to claim a site for construction. And here's a key point. It says find a suitable area and deploy the base computer. You can get to it with the build menu. So we're going to do that, but right here, even though this looks like a tempting location, is probably not the best spot. I am going to go ahead and save and chart. That will give me a manual save. And it will also probably give me some, navigation data. That comes in handy later too. Alright, so I think we're going to stop it right here. I'm going to go look for a suitable location, and I'll kind of explain to you in the next video what I look for, and we'll go from there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. Please be sure to check the notifications so that you know when my next video comes out. If you have any comments, especially about any games that you'd like me to play, please feel free to leave those in the comments. And we'll see you next time.